The stars were calm, and the galaxy seemed peaceful. For centuries, humans had traveled quietly, exploring the edges of space. But in the dark reaches of the Tarion system, that peace was about to end. Captain Mira stood on the bridge of the human warship Valor. Her eyes scanned the blinking lights of the control panel. Suddenly, alarms rang across the ship, shattering the calm. "Captain, sensors are picking up unknown ships approaching fast," said Lieutenant Kiro, his voice tight with tension. The screen showed dozens of alien vessels, moving in perfect formation, larger and more menacing than anything humans had faced before. Myra's heart raced, but she stayed calm. She had trained for moments like this. "Prepare for combat," she ordered. "But do not fire unless I give the command." The alien ships drew closer, their hulls shimmering under the distant light of a dying sun. The Tarion system had been a quiet trade route for decades, and suddenly, it became the stage for a deadly encounter. Myra's mind raced. Who were these enemies? What did they want? And why now? "Captain, they are scanning us," Kiro reported. "No communication yet." Mira frowned. The silence was strange. These aliens were skilled enough to move in formation, but they were not sending any messages. That meant one thing: they intended to attack first. The humans had no time to waste. She took a deep breath and looked at her crew. "Listen to me," she said. "We do not know their power, but we do know our strength. Stay focused. Trust your training. Humanity will not back down." As she spoke, the human fleet emerged from the warp gates. Small compared to the alien force, but perfectly organized. Myra's ships glimmered like silver arrows in the black void of space. Each warship carried weapons unlike anything the galaxy had seen: energy cannons, rapid missiles, and advanced shields. The aliens might have numbers, but humans had speed, strategy, and cunning. Formation Alpha, move to the front line. Beta, flank from the left. Gamma, cover our rear, Mira commanded. The ships responded instantly, moving with precision. The aliens hesitated. They had not expected humans to react so quickly. A sudden pulse of light flashed across the sensors. One alien ship fired a long-range missile. Myra's eyes narrowed. Evasive maneuvers. All ships, hold your positions and counterattack if needed. The human warships moved as one, weaving through space like dancers, dodging enemy fire effortlessly. The first exchange was brief but revealing. The alien weapons struck, but human shields absorbed most of the impact. Humans fired back, targeting enemy engines and weapons. One by one, alien ships faltered, sparks and fire trailing behind them. Mira felt a strange mix of pride and caution. Pride because her fleet was strong, caution because they still did not know the full strength of this enemy. On the main bridge, Kiro pointed at a large alien ship that seemed different from the others. "Captain, that one. It's huge. And it's moving straight for us." Myra's eyes narrowed. "Keep your focus. Do not let fear control you. That ship may be large, but size is not strength. It is our skill, our strategy, and our courage that will decide this fight." The massive alien ship fired a beam of energy that tore through space. Myra's crew felt the heat even through the shields. Sparks flew across the bridge. "Shields holding, but just barely," Kiro shouted. Myra's voice was calm but firm. "Fire at their engines. Focus on disabling, not destroying. We need them alive, for now." The human warships surged forward. Their weapons hit the alien engines with pinpoint accuracy. The massive ship shuddered, sparks flying from its sides. The aliens were shocked. They had never faced opponents like this before. From deep space, distant observers of the galaxy would later call this moment the first time humans revealed their true power. But for Mira and her crew, it was only the beginning. The enemy was retreating, but Mira knew it was not a surrender. Aliens did not retreat easily. This was a warning, a test, and possibly a trap. She tightened her grip on the command console. "Prepare for their next move," she ordered. "We cannot let our guard down. The galaxy is watching, and so are they." Outside, the stars blinked silently. The Tarion system had become a battlefield, and humanity had just stepped onto the stage. But no one in the galaxy yet understood what humans were truly capable of. And Mira knew one thing for certain: the enemy would pay dearly for underestimating them. As the human warships held their formation, ready for the next strike, a new alarm blared. Kiro's voice trembled. "Captain, there's a signal. It's coming from deep inside the enemy fleet. It's massive." Mira leaned forward, eyes wide. The first real test had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The human fleet moved silently through the darkness of space, their silver hulls shining under distant stars. Captain Mira stood on the Bridge of Valor, watching the alien fleet struggle to regroup. The first clash had shown humans were different. Faster, smarter, stronger. But Mira knew the enemy was still dangerous. "Captain, they are forming a new line," Lieutenant Kiro said, pointing at the main screen. "This one is larger and more aggressive." Myra's jaw tightened. "They think they can overwhelm us with numbers." "Let them try. Maintain formation Alpha. Prepare all weapons." The human warships adjusted positions quickly. Their energy shields shimmered, creating a wall of light that no enemy could easily penetrate. Mira felt the thrill of command as her crew moved like a single organism, each ship responding instantly to her orders. Suddenly, the alien fleet fired again. Streams of glowing missiles and energy bolts raced toward the humans. But the human ships moved with precision, dodging each attack. One of the alien missiles exploded harmlessly in space, missing by meters. Another enemy beam struck a human ship, but its shields held firm. Myra's eyes narrowed. "Counterattack. Target their engines and weapon systems. Hit hard, hit fast, and do not waste a shot." The human fleet responded instantly. Beams of concentrated energy cut through alien engines. Ships that were once moving confidently now shuddered under the attack. Sparks flew from their hulls, and some began to drift, disabled but not destroyed. The humans were careful. They wanted the enemy alive, but they also wanted to teach them a lesson they would never forget. From the back of the formation, Kiro noticed something strange. "Captain, their formation is breaking. They didn't expect our speed. And their flagship is moving closer." Myra's pulse quickened. The flagship was massive, unlike any other ship in the alien fleet. Its hull was covered in strange metal plating that shimmered like liquid silver. It seemed almost alive, reacting to every human move. "They have a leader," Mira said softly. "And it's time we meet it." She activated the long-range targeting system. The energy cannons on Valor hummed as they locked on the alien flagship. At the same time, other human warships prepared their weapons, creating a network of firepower ready to strike at a single command. The flagship fired first. A massive energy beam tore across space, aiming directly at the human line. Myra's crew felt the pressure on their shields as the light hit. Sparks flew across consoles, and alarms screamed. But the humans did not panic. "Divert power to forward shields. Evasive maneuvers now," Mira ordered. The fleet twisted and turned, moving in ways the aliens had not predicted. Beams missed, missiles exploded before reaching their target. The humans were faster, smarter, and more coordinated than the alien commanders had imagined. Then came the counterstrike. Human energy cannons fired in perfect synchronization, striking the alien flagship's engines. Explosions rippled along its hull. Sparks and smoke filled the sensors. The flagship faltered, staggering like a wounded beast. The aliens watched in shock as the humans, smaller in number, dominated the battlefield with unmatched skill. "Captain, they're retreating," Kiro said. His voice was a mix of relief and disbelief. Mira shook her head. "No, Kiro. This is not retreat. They are regrouping for something bigger. We have only shown them a fraction of our power. Stay alert. Do not lower shields." The human ships advanced cautiously. Every move was measured, every decision precise. Mira knew the aliens would not give up easily, and she knew that humans, for all their courage, must stay ready for anything. Across the galaxy, distant observers watched in silence. News of the human fleet's performance spread quickly. Whispers of awe and fear reached alien worlds. Humans were not just another species. They were a force that could not be ignored. Back on the bridge, Mira studied the alien flagship through her monitors. Its movements were calculated, its strategy complex. But there was one thing it lacked: the ability to predict human creativity and courage. They are learning too slowly, Mira said quietly. They cannot imagine what humans can do when we fight for survival. A sudden signal appeared on the main screen. Kiro leaned closer. Captain, it's an unknown transmission. It's coming from the flagship, but it's not words. It's a wave, energy, some kind of message. Mira frowned. Analyze it. Carefully. The human science officer tapped at her console. It's strange. It's not a threat, but it feels like a warning. They are trying to communicate, but in a way we do not understand. Mira studied the screen, her mind racing. Humans had faced many dangers, but the galaxy still held mysteries no one could fully comprehend. And this flagship, this alien command, was one of them. Prepare to advance, Mira said. We show them humanity is not weak, but we do it with precision and care. No unnecessary destruction. We are humans. We are strong, but we are wise. The fleet surged forward, weapons ready, shields glowing, engines humming. The Tarion system had become a stage for history. And as the humans faced the alien fleet again, one thing was clear. The galaxy was about to witness something it had never seen before. The aliens had underestimated humans. And they would soon learn, painfully, that human ingenuity and courage could not be measured by numbers alone. The alien flagship drifted in space, its hull glowing from the previous attacks. Captain Mira watched it carefully from the Bridge of Valor. Her crew was tense but focused. This was the moment humans would show the true extent of their power. Captain, sensors show their weapons are charging again, Lieutenant Kiro said. They are preparing a massive strike. Myra's eyes narrowed. Let them fire. We are ready. The alien flagship released a pulse of energy that raced toward the human fleet. The shields shimmered under the impact, holding strong. Sparks flew across consoles as the crew adjusted power and rebalanced defenses. Mira smiled slightly. The enemy thought size and strength alone could win. They were about to learn how humans fought. Target their engines and weapons control. Fire at once. Mira commanded. The human warships responded instantly. Streams of concentrated energy cut through the alien flagship's hull. Sparks and fire erupted along its sides. The massive ship rocked violently, struggling to maintain formation. Captain, their formation is breaking apart, Kiro said, astonished. They've never faced anything like this before. Myra's mind raced. This was the moment humans could turn the tide. Maintain pressure. Hit their weapon systems and their communication array. We need to show them humans are unstoppable. The smaller human warships moved in perfect synchronization, dodging enemy beams while delivering precise strikes. One by one, alien ships faltered. Engines failed. Weapons jammed. Some began drifting helplessly into space, sparks trailing like dying stars. On the bridge, the crew whispered in awe. Humans had never destroyed so much without losing a single ship. Every strike was careful, calculated. Mira had taught them well, power with precision. Then came the real shock. A new human weapon, a self-targeting energy system, activated. It moved like a living entity, seeking the core of the alien flagship. Mira watched as it struck. There was no explosion at first, just a bright flash, and then silence. The alien flagship shuddered violently and vanished from the sensors. The crew froze. It's gone, Kiro breathed. Completely erased. Nothing left. Mira felt a chill run down her spine. Across the galaxy, observers would later call this moment the first total erasure by human weapons. No one had ever seen a fleet vanish so completely, so quickly. The aliens were stunned, their pride shattered. But Mira knew better than to celebrate too soon. Do not lower shields. There may be more coming. This was only the vanguard. As the human fleet held formation, distant alien ships in other sectors received the news. Fear spread quickly. Aliens whispered to one another in disbelief. Humans had done the impossible. Their strength, strategy, and courage were unmatched. The galaxy was beginning to understand something terrifying. Humans were no ordinary species. On the bridge, Mira looked out at the stars. We fight for survival, for humanity, she said softly. But today, We have shown the galaxy what we are capable of. A sudden alert flashed on the main screen. Kiro's voice shook. Captain, there's movement. Sensors detect a massive object leaving hyperspace. It's unknown, and it's heading straight for us. Myra's eyes narrowed. Prepare all defenses. Keep shields at maximum. Humanity has won this battle, but the war is only beginning. The stars outside blinked silently. The Tarion system had witnessed the rise of human power, but far beyond, something waited, watching, calculating. The galaxy would never forget the day human ingenuity erased an entire fleet without mercy, and humanity itself had only begun to realize its place among the stars. The stars of the Tarion system glimmered quietly, but the silence was false. Captain Mira knew the calm after the last battle was dangerous. Across the sensors, the alien fleet was regrouping. They were angry, desperate, and far larger than before. Captain, they are launching a massive counterattack, Lieutenant Kiro said, pointing at the screen. Hundreds of ships. Their firepower is enormous. Myra's jaw tightened. Hold formation. We expected this. They rely on size, but we rely on skill. Every ship follow orders. Stick to your position. The human fleet adjusted quickly. Their shields glowed brighter, engines humming as they maneuvered in perfect coordination. The alien ships fired simultaneously, streams of energy bolts and missiles racing toward the humans. Myra's heart pounded, but her voice remained calm. Evasive maneuvers. Maintain focus. Counterattack only when I give the order, she commanded. The humans twisted and turned through space with incredible precision. Every missile missed, every beam glanced harmlessly off the shields. Then came the strike. Human energy cannons fired in synchronized bursts, targeting the alien engines and weapons. Sparks flew, ships shuddered, and one by one, enemy ships faltered. Captain, they're losing formation again, Kiro said, his voice filled with awe. They can't handle our speed and coordination. Mira nodded. Good. But stay alert. They will try anything. Suddenly, from the alien fleet, a massive ship separated from the group. It moved like a predator, its weapons charging in a deadly rhythm. Captain, that's their new flagship, Kiro reported. It's bigger, stronger, and faster. Mira studied the screen. They are desperate. Desperate enemies are dangerous. We have to outthink them, not just overpower them. The humans executed a feint. Ships split into smaller groups, making the alien flagship follow one group while another circled behind. Energy beams flew, explosions lit the void, and alien ships struggled to keep up with the speed and strategy of the human fleet. Kiro couldn't hide his astonishment. Captain, their flagship is trying to target us, but it keeps missing. It's confused. Mira smiled slightly. Confusion is a weapon too, Kiro. They expect brute force. We give them precision and cunning. The alien flagship fired again, a massive beam tearing through space, aiming at a human squadron. Myra's crew executed evasive maneuvers perfectly. The beam missed, striking empty space. Sparks and debris floated harmlessly. Then came the counterattack. Human ships fired with perfect timing. Their energy pulses struck the alien flagship's shields, weakening them. Engines stuttered. Weapons jammed. The massive ship rocked violently, unable to maintain formation. Captain, they're retreating, Kiro said in disbelief. Mira shook her head. Not retreat. Regrouping. They're preparing for something bigger. This is a test, and we have passed it. But the war is far from over. Across the galaxy, observers watched in fear and awe. Aliens whispered rumors of humans' power. They are unpredictable, unstoppable, merciless. Across distant star systems, fleets reconsidered their strategies. Humans were no longer ordinary, they were a force to be feared. On the bridge, Mira studied the alien flagship sensors. Its movements were strange, unpredictable, but flawed. She knew humans had one advantage aliens never could: creativity under pressure, and courage without hesitation. Kiro, prepare for the next engagement. Sensors show more ships approaching from the outer rim, she said. Kiro's eyes widened. Captain, more fleets? How many?
Myra's voice was calm but firm.
Enough to make this interesting. Humans fight not because we fear death, but because we fight for survival, for each other, and for humanity itself. The human fleet adjusted, shields glowing, engines ready, weapons primed. The Tarion system had become a battlefield unlike any other, and humans had proven their strength. But Mira knew the galaxy held bigger threats, ones that would test not only their weapons, but their courage, unity, and ingenuity. As the distant stars blinked silently, the humans prepared for the unknown. The aliens had learned something terrifying. Humans did not fight like any other species. And far beyond, the galaxy held its breath, waiting for what would come next. The Tarion system shivered under the silent tension of battle. Captain Mira watched the alien fleet carefully. They were desperate, their numbers still large, but their formation weak. Humans had learned every move, every pattern. Now it was time to reveal the ultimate weapon. Captain, the sensors detect a massive energy buildup, Lieutenant Kiro reported. His voice trembled slightly. It's coming from our secret weapon. Myra's eyes narrowed. Good. Prepare for activation. This will show them why humanity cannot be challenged. The human ship spread out, creating a perfect formation around the weapon's position. Deep in space, hidden from the galaxy's gaze, humans had built a device of unimaginable power, a planet-scale energy pulse, capable of erasing fleets in moments. No alien species had ever seen anything like it. Stand by, all systems ready, Mira commanded. The crew felt the tension, but their confidence was unwavering. They trusted their captain and their strategy. The aliens sensed the humans' preparations and fired a barrage of attacks, desperate to stop them. Missiles streaked across space, energy beams lanced toward the human ships, but the humans held formation, shields glowing brightly. Their weapons fired with precision, keeping the enemy distracted. Activate now! Mira shouted. A bright pulse of energy radiated from the device, moving across the battlefield like a silent storm. It struck the alien fleet with impossible speed. Ships shuddered, sparks flew, and one by one, the enemies vanished. Entire squadrons were erased in seconds, leaving nothing but empty space. Kiro could hardly believe his eyes. Captain, it's gone. Completely gone. Not a single ship remains. Mira stayed calm, her eyes scanning the sensors. Yes, total erasure. But we show mercy by not attacking the planet. We are humans. Strong but not reckless. Across the galaxy, observers watched in awe and fear. No one had ever seen such power. Rumors spread instantly. Aliens whispered in terror. The humans, they can erase fleets as easily as flicking a hand. They are unstoppable. On the human bridge, the crew remained focused. This was not victory for pride. It was a demonstration of human ingenuity, strategy, and courage. Mira spoke softly, almost to herself. We fight not to destroy, but to survive, to protect, and to show that humanity will not be underestimated. Sensors picked up movement in distant sectors. Kiro's voice broke the silence. Captain, more ships are approaching. Unknown. And they seem to be watching us carefully now. Mira nodded. Good. Let them watch. Humanity has shown its power. Let the galaxy remember this moment. The stars seemed calm again, but the Tarion system had changed forever. Aliens across distant worlds reconsidered their strategies. They would never approach humans lightly again. Fear, respect, and awe now followed humanity wherever their ships traveled. Mira looked out into the blackness of space. We have shown strength, but we have also shown restraint. That is what makes us human. The galaxy will remember this day, but humanity has only begun its journey among the stars. A sudden alert flashed on the main console. Kiro frowned. Captain, signals from deep space. Something massive. Not like anything we've faced. Mira straightened. Prepare for the next challenge. The galaxy is watching. Humanity has won this battle, but the war is just beginning. The human fleet held formation, shields glowing, weapons ready. Silence stretched across the void, broken only by the faint hum of the ship's engines. The aliens had been erased, but the unknown awaited beyond the stars. Humanity had revealed its might, and the galaxy would never forget. The Tarion system was quiet once again.
The alien fleet had been erased, and the stars seemed calm.
But the calm was only on the surface. Across the galaxy, whispers of fear and awe spread quickly. Humans had done the impossible. Entire fleets vanished, and no one had seen such power before. Captain Mira stood on the Bridge of Valor, her eyes scanning the empty space where the enemy once was. "The battle is over," she said softly. "But the galaxy is only beginning to understand humanity."
Lieutenant Kiro shook his head in disbelief.
"Captain, every system we passed, every alien outpost, they are talking about us. Fear, respect, awe. They have never seen anything like this."
Mira nodded.
"Good. Let them remember. Humanity fights for survival, but we do not strike without reason. We show strength, but also wisdom. That is what makes us human."
Across the stars, alien species discussed the events in hushed tones. "They are unstoppable," one commander whispered.
"Their weapons, their strategy. It is beyond comprehension. We cannot underestimate them." Rumors spread quickly. Some aliens feared humans would strike next. Others respected their restraint.
And some secretly wondered if humans were not just warriors, but guardians of the galaxy.
Back on the human fleet, the crew worked quietly. Ships were repaired, shields recharged, and systems checked. There was no celebration, only calm professionalism. Mira watched her crew with pride. They had performed flawlessly. Their courage, skill, and unity had made them stronger than any alien fleet. "Kiro, prepare a report for command," Mira said. "But also, send a message across our sectors.
Let all humans know what we have done, and what we are capable of."
Kiro nodded. "Yes, Captain. It will spread quickly." As the humans prepared to leave, sensors detected movement in distant sectors. Unknown ships were watching, calculating. The galaxy had learned that humans were powerful, but it had also realized that humans were unpredictable. No one could predict what humanity would do next.
Myra's voice was calm but firm.
"The galaxy has seen our strength. Let them fear, let them respect. But humanity will not be reckless. We fight for survival, for each other, and for the future of all humans." The stars glimmered silently as the human fleet moved away from the Tarion system.
Across distant worlds, alien species whispered and debated.
"We must be careful," one said. "The humans, they are unlike any we have ever faced." Mira stood quietly, watching the stars pass by. She knew that humans had made their mark. The galaxy would never forget this day.
But she also knew that humanity's journey had only begun.
Bigger challenges awaited, and the unknown still lay ahead. "Kiro, humanity is no longer just another species," she said softly. "We are a force the galaxy must reckon with."
Kiro nodded, awed.
"Yes, Captain. They will remember us. Always." As the fleet continued its course, the galaxy seemed to hold its breath. Humans had shown power, courage, and restraint. The legends of the Tarion system battle would spread, creating fear, respect, and curiosity across the stars.
And deep in the shadows of distant sectors, watchers noted the humans' every move, wondering when and where they would strike next, or if they ever would.
The human fleet moved forward, calm, strong, and ready. The galaxy had learned something crucial. Humans were not just survivors. They were the future, and the future was unstoppable. The galaxy had changed. Across distant star systems, every fleet, every command center, whispered the same thing. Humans were no ordinary species. Their power, strategy, and courage had erased entire fleets without mercy.
And yet, humans had shown restraint, leaving planets untouched.
Captain Mira stood on the Bridge of Valor, watching the stars glide past. The Tarion system was behind them, but the echoes of battle would remain forever. "We have shown the galaxy our strength," she said softly. "But strength alone is not enough. Humanity's true power is our courage, our unity, and our ingenuity." Lieutenant Kiro nodded. "Captain, every species we pass now watches us carefully. Fear, respect, awe. They are changing their plans, their strategies. Humanity is rewriting the rules." Myra's eyes narrowed. "Good. Let them learn. Let them understand that humans fight not for conquest, but for survival, for protection, and for the future of all humans. Let them see that we are unstoppable when we stand together. Across the galaxy, alien species debated what had happened. Some were terrified. Others admired humanity's restraint. One thing was clear. Humans had become the defining force in the galaxy. Fleets that once believed themselves unbeatable now reconsidered their tactics. Humans had rewritten the balance of power with skill, courage, and unyielding determination. On the human fleet, the crew worked silently, repairing ships, checking systems, and preparing for whatever came next. There were no celebrations, only calm determination. Each human knew that the galaxy would continue to challenge them, and they had to remain ready. Suddenly, sensors picked up faint signals in deep space. Unknown, distant, and mysterious. Mira studied the readouts. The galaxy still holds secrets, she said. And one day we will face them. But humanity is ready. Whatever comes, we will meet it together. Kiro looked out at the stars, awed. Captain, the galaxy will never forget us. Humans are legendary now. Mira smiled faintly. Let them remember. But let them also hope we are wise enough not to use our full power unless it is needed. Humanity's true strength is not just in weapons or numbers. It is in our courage, our unity, and our spirit. That is what makes us unstoppable. The fleet moved forward, leaving the Tarion system behind. Across distant worlds, aliens watched, calculated, and whispered. Humanity had proven itself. The galaxy would never be the same again. Myra's voice echoed softly across the bridge. The universe is vast, and the unknown is endless. But humanity will endure, will rise, and will inspire. We have shown our power, but we have also shown our wisdom. And that is the mark of a species that will shape the future. Stars glimmered in silence, distant and eternal. Humans sailed among them, calm, strong, and united. The galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans were not just survivors, they were a force that could not be ignored. And somewhere, far beyond the reaches of known space, new challenges waited. But humanity was ready. The stars stretched endlessly, and the human fleet moved forward, unstoppable, unyielding, and unforgettable. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of humanity, and it would never be the same again.